Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by EnergySage. Visit the link in the description below to find out how EnergySage can help you contract local verified solar experts to help you generate clean, green, renewable electricity for your home. And by Fully Charge Live USA. Come down to San Diego on September 10th and 11th to take part in the live extravaganza of EV fun. With panels galore and loads of things to look at and do, it's the best way to start off your autumn. We'll be there, will you? Welcome back to TEN, or Transport Evolved News. Thanks for tuning in and for hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I hope you like the new intro. We're going to be tweaking TEN a little in the coming weeks as we prepare for episode 400 of this roundup show, which will happen just before we celebrate 9 years of the show and nearly 13 years of this channel. After more than 6 years of research, development and engineering, Dutch EV startup Lightyear finally revealed the production version of its first solar electric car, the Lightyear Zero. Known formerly as the Lightyear One, the super streamlined full-size EV claims a production specification drag coefficient of just 0.19, a weight of 1,575 kilos, that's just shy of £3,500, and a WLTP range of 625 kilometres, 388 miles per charge of its 60 kilowatt-hour battery pack. But its real party trick is its solar panels, which offer up to 70 kilometres, 43.5 miles of range per day on sunlight alone. Production begins in Finland later this year, with just 946 units planned. Yes, this is a flagship halo car with an equally high €250,000 price tag, but it's set to be followed in a few years by Lightyear's mass-production solar EV models. Volkswagen has officially opened its brand new battery engineering lab in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where it will carry out climatic and mechanical testing on EVs and EV batteries. Costing $22 million, the Battery Engineering Lab, aka BEL, will be the first Volkswagen test facility of its type in North America and joins 3 other facilities owned by Volkswagen carrying out similar testing in Germany and China. Testing includes a massive vibration rig designed to put vehicles under the equivalent of 1 year's worth of driving in 1 week, a massive climate chamber that can recreate any climate currently experienced on the planet, and much, much more. Its opening comes as Volkswagen readies US-made Volkswagen ID4s for deliveries to dealerships this coming September. That's several months ahead of its original plan of late October or November. After this point, all North American ID4s will be made in North America, different to the current situation where models being sold are shipped from Germany. It's official. European lawmakers have voted to ban the sale of new internal combustion engined cars and vans from 2035 onwards across the whole of the European Union. In total, 339 members of the European Parliament voted in favour of the ban, a ban proposed to the legislative branch by the executive branch of the EU. But don't think the vote was unanimous. In total, 249 votes were recorded against the legislation, with 24 MEPs abstaining from the vote. As you might expect, the proposed regulation met a lot of opposition, including from the European Automobile Manufacturers Association and its current president, BMW CEO Oliver Zipse. The vote is a win for Europe's goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050, and it puts its Fit for 55 plan within reach. That's a goal of cutting 55% of greenhouse gas emissions across the EU by 2030. But with a total of 27 member states, some of which were not in favour of the ban, the hard part is going to be getting those member nations to actually implement said ban. The wheels of politics often turn a little too slowly for real climate impact. US solar electric vehicle specialist Aptera has announced that Marathon Capital LLC, a major US cleantech investment bank and current investor in the firm, will lead its Series B funding round. Aptera now says it has 23,000 vehicle pre-orders worth a potential $800 million of revenue, assuming reservation holders actually follow through their reservations with confirmed orders, of course. It's not clear at this time how much Marathon Capital LLC is investing in the Series B, but Aptera says it's looking for a total investment of at least $200 million in order to transition from finishing vehicle engineering to going into pre-production prep. The same week, it confirmed that it successfully ended a crowdfunding round involving both individuals and institutions worth a total of $40 million. Aptera hopes its first production vehicles will roll off the line by the end of this year. The Hyundai IONIQ 5 is quite an advanced vehicle in its stock form, thanks to it being based on the eGMP platform, a platform that includes 800-volt DC quick charging, two-way power transfer, and a bucket load of sensors and smarts for semi-autonomous driving. But in its home market of Korea, Hyundai has just gone one step further, launching a Level 4 autonomous ride-sharing service in Seoul. While the vehicles will have a safety driver on board for now, Level 4 autonomous vehicles are capable of carrying out pretty much all driving duties without driver input and, in order to be Level 4, must not actually require a driver to intervene, something that's required for the less advanced Level 3 operation. In order to progress to full Level 5 autonomy, which is basically fully autonomous all the time with nobody in the car, the vehicle would need to handle everywhere in all conditions rather than operate in a geofenced area, which in this case is within the Gangnam district of Seoul. Guess it's going Gangnam style. The current US White House has officially proposed a new set of standards for EV quick charging as part of a drive to establish a nationwide EV charging network that's as easy to use as gas stations are. Issuing a notice of proposed rulemaking, the US DOT, Federal Highway Administration, has entered a period of consultation lasting just 60 days where anyone can submit proposals pertaining to minimum charging capabilities, signage, installation process, interoperability, standards, traffic control, network connectivity, roaming, and payment of a nationwide EV charging network. When the 60-day consultation period is over, feedback will be taken into consideration by the government agency and a full set of regulations will be made by the FHWA. So, if you'd like to have a say in how EV charging is set out, including the standards or minimum service levels on offer, now is the time to get involved. Staying with politics, Senator Debbie Stabenow from Michigan made remarks this week to the Senate Finance Committee talking about President Biden's proposed 2023 budget, which includes significant funds set aside to accelerate electric vehicle adoption. Discussing how she started driving an electric vehicle recently after waiting months for all of the computer chips required to build it, Senator Stabenow detailed how she was able to go past every single gas station, a feeling that many watching will have experienced without worrying about gas prices. She added that she looks forward to helping move the country away from vehicles that are dependent on fossil fuels. But Fox News, the news network known for being a conduit for Shouty Bob and his weird conspiracy theories, tried to claim she was quote-unquote bragging about her position and the quote-unquote expensive electric vehicle she purchased that most folks couldn't afford. The car she actually purchased wasn't a Tesla, but a Chevrolet Bolt EUV, a vehicle which recently had its sticker price lowered to start from under $28,200. Given the average sticker price of a new car is now above $32,000, this particular Shouty Bob moment was particularly faux, Fox. The US National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA for short, has been investigating multiple crashes involving Tesla Autopilot and first responder vehicles. This week, it announced it is upgrading the investigation into what is known as an engineering analysis. According to its official announcement, this will include evaluating additional data, performing vehicle evaluations, and, quote, explore the degree to which autopilot and associated Tesla systems may exacerbate human factors or behavioral safety risks by undermining the effectiveness of the driver's supervision, end quote. Reading between the lines, it appears that NHTSA believes that Tesla's autopilot system is not sufficiently monitoring for driver attentiveness, stating that only 2 of the drivers involved in the 11 incidents it is investigating received driver engagement alerts in the 5 minutes prior to their crash. While Tesla always maintains that you should remain in control and keep your hands on the wheel at all times, this case is going to be potentially very important to reframe exactly when driver responsibility and vehicle responsibility come into play. So we will be watching this one with quite a lot of interest. There is nothing more frustrating than arriving at a charging station to find it out of action, especially if you're miles away from home and in a part of the country you're not particularly familiar with. Add in a tight schedule or an impending meeting, and it can be a whole lot worse. Luckily, EV charging station reliability has come along in leaps and bounds in recent years thanks to the expansion of EV charging sites with multiple redundant chargers. But a recent survey by researchers at the University of California at Berkeley shows that there's a long way to go before EV charging station reliability is, well, reliable. Studying a total of 657 individual CCS-compatible charging stalls at 181 charging sites throughout the greater San Francisco Bay Area, more than a quarter of tested stations were either non-functioning or had a charging cable that was simply too short to be used on some EVs. Worse still, 10% of the faulty units tested at random 8 days later remained out of action. Given public funding requires a 97 to 99% uptime of sites in order to be funded, this is bad news indeed. As the price of energy continues to soar, there's a massive increase in interest in solar panels around the world, with some installation companies finding themselves booked out months ahead as people rush to generate power on the roofs of their homes. The US is no different, and with the federal tax credit for solar panels due to drop from 26% this year to 22% next, before disappearing completely, the rush is on to panel up. But a tariff on Chinese imported electronics is threatening the cost analysis of going solar, putting some people off as many panels are imported from China or use Chinese components. To tackle that challenge and give the US a chance to ramp up its own domestic solar panel production, President Joe Biden has just announced the US will waive all import tariffs for 2 years on all solar panels made in Southeast Asia. It comes after a Department of Commerce investigation which found that the tariffs were threatening the US solar industry. The president is also expected to invoke the Defense Production Act to shift funds towards helping US solar panel productions ramp up. Which brings us nicely to one of today's video sponsors, EnergySage. EnergySage is an online service in the US that helps homeowners connect with local, verified solar installers who really know their stuff and can help you navigate the process of installing photovoltaic solar panels on your home or signing up for a community solar program. We used EnergySage when we were looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our home, and EnergySage verified installers were professional, knowledgeable, and even put us in touch with an amazing local credit union to help us finance our solar panels for as low a monthly payment as possible. And with the US federal tax credit for solar panels due to drop to 22% next year from 26% this, now is the perfect time to plan solar for your home before it's too late. Follow the link in the description below to sign up for EnergySage's free, no-obligation service today, and if you choose to use an EnergySage installer for your solar project, the channel will get a small referral fee, so you'd be helping us out too. And now it's time for short shorts. Tesla has submitted a filing with the FCC to use radar in future Tesla models, while Musk has previously said no to radar, noting that it would only be worth using it if pure vision was paired with, quote, very high resolution, end quote, radar. We think we can see what's about to happen. Ford's head of press has stepped in to confirm that reports of Ford dealerships adding an effective F-150 Lightning's MSRP to its sticker as an additional dealer markup was in fact an error. Mike Levine stated on Twitter that the dealer inputted the MSRP of its demo unit twice in error. Polestar has officially released the first teaser image of the Polestar 3, the brand's first electric performance SUV. It gets a reveal in the coming months, but Polestar says it will have dual motors and a large battery as standard. We'll share more info when we have it. The Hyundai IONIQ brand has to date been the firm's eco-minded lineup, with IONIQ meaning hybrid, plug-in hybrid and EV. But with the IONIQ electric long gone in many markets, the brand has now announced the end for the IONIQ hybrid and IONIQ plug-in hybrid hatch too. From now on, IONIQ will be an EV-only nameplate, with the IONIQ 5 and future sibling models. At a company-wide meeting this week, some Tesla employees asked Tesla CEO Elon Musk just what they should do about the drama surrounding Musk's plans to acquire Twitter. While there's been a will he, won't he going on for some time, Elon Musk simply said they should ignore it. Volvo has just published its official sales figures for May in North America, and of the cars it sold in the US, plug-in vehicles represent 35.7% of all cars sold. In California, though, 77% of Volvos sold last month came with a plug. Following in the tyre tracks of both Tesla and Aptera, Polestar is adding a referral program to incentivize owners to promote the brand to their friends and family. As a reward, European and South Korean customers will get charging credits, while North American customers will get free gadgets like a Nest Hub or Nest Mini by Google. BYD has announced it's about to start supplying Tesla with battery cells. When asked if BYD saw Tesla as a competition, BYD's executive VP recently told a Chinese state-owned media channel that BYD was, quote, good friends with Elon Musk, end quote, and would soon start supplying Tesla with batteries. Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe presented a new video on the channel this week showing viewers around the Normal, Illinois facility, where Rivian makes the R1T, R1S and Amazon delivery vehicle. The video on Rivian's YouTube channel is quite different from the tour he gave there a few years ago. Pacific Gas and Electric in California has officially commissioned its massive new battery storage system at the Moss Landing Electric Substation in California. And I just can't stop thinking about Star Wars. It is built with 256 Tesla Megapacks, and a Cybertruck was in attendance at the event. Chinese automaker Qiantu has unveiled a two-seat EV called the K20. It will be available in several configurations, with the range-topping version offering a dual-motor sprint time of 4.7 seconds, but it will retail from the equivalent of just $13,000 US. The joint partnership between Sony and Honda that could see the latter make the former's electric cars a production reality may end up getting spun off to become a jointly owned EV company in its own right. Talking with the Nikkei this week, Sony's chairman said it's likely the venture will become independent for the benefit of both companies. Stellantis and LG Energy Supply's new battery production partnership in Windsor, Ontario, Canada will be officially known as Nexstar Energy Inc. The facility, announced earlier this year, will churn out more than 45 gigawatt-hours of automotive-grade lithium-ion cells per year. After Elon Musk told executives last week to come back to office and put in a minimum of 40 hours a week at a Tesla facility, Amazon has made it known that it's open to hiring Tesla alumni who don't want to go back to a physical office. It'll be interesting to see who decides to leave. The Royal Automobile Club in the UK has announced that after the average price of using a rapid charging station in the UK has risen by more than a fifth since September last year, it's going to start a Charge Watch initiative to track the cost of charging EVs across the UK. After stating that it would be transitioning the Fiat brand to electric only by 2027, Stellantis has confirmed that Fiat will start the transition next month in the UK, ending sales of ICE vehicles and only selling hybrid and plug-in hybrid vehicles from July 1st in the UK onwards. Ford, BMW, Honda, Volkswagen and Volvo have asked a federal court in the US to uphold the EPA decision waiver that gives California the ability to set its own tougher emission standards independently of the Clean Air Act. Other automakers are conspicuously absent despite their pro-EV proclamations. In a study recently commissioned by car brand DS, 38% of hybrid and EV owners say that driving their current vehicles results in them feeling less stressed about the wheel than they did driving non-electric cars. We're pretty sure many of you watching will agree. Following Tesla's lead, Polestar has begun delivering large numbers of Polestar 2 EVs to Hertz to be used in the rental company's fleet. In total, 65,000 Polestar 2s will be delivered to Hertz over the next 5 years. Just make sure you keep all your paperwork, eh? GM's battery division Ultium Cells has announced the completion of the steelwork that will frame its brand new battery facility in Tennessee. It hopes to complete construction and begin cell production of the facility by the end of this year, just in time for the Silverado EV to enter into production. Cadillac has teased more pictures of its Celestiq show car, an all-electric EV hatchback that previews a new luxury model that will go on sale sometime in 2025. Unlike most concepts these days, the car isn't an SUV, and we have to give Cadillac some kudos for that. Mazda has vowed to make all of its production facilities around the world carbon neutral by 2035, a move that you might think would signal yet another automaker making the transition to electric-only lineups. But Mazda so far has said it plans to continue ICE vehicle sales well into the next decade and only offers one limited-range EV. Walmart, a company that has already committed to buying many Tesla Cybertrucks, has announced that it now added 2 new electric big rigs to its fleet purchase list, the Nikola Tre electric truck and the Freightliner e-Cascadia. But hydrogen and natural gas big rigs will also join its nationwide fleet. Solid Power says it's about to begin pilot manufacturing of a solid-state battery cell ahead of formal testing with Ford and BMW later this year. Those cells will be made on a small-scale production line in Colorado, and cells will there be sent to both automakers for significant amounts of testing. San Francisco's Department of the Environment has launched a new program offering delivery drivers in the city free electric bicycles to help them carry out their work. From September onwards, gig workers can apply to be selected to participate in the program. Promising that its Ocean electric SUV is on track to begin deliveries by the end of this year, Fisker confirmed this week that it has 50,000 reservations for its first car and more than 3,200 reservations for its next vehicle, the enigmatic Pear EV. The state of New York has approved the Nikola Tre truck as eligible for the New York Truck Voucher Incentive Program. It's a program that offers up to $185,000 in funds per truck. But right now, only 11 Nikola Tres have been delivered. Microlino has officially opened an online configuration tool for the Microlino electric bubble car. Available to European customers, delivery dates depend on the version you choose, but pushing $20,000 or equivalent in terms of MSRP. Small doesn't come cheap. Audi has hailed its first urban charging hub a success and says it will be rolling out further locations in Germany this year. An alternative to charging at home, the urban charging hub features multiple DC quick charging stations, solar panels, and a lounge for customers to wait in. Tesla has been sued by a German customer for selling him a new car with multiple cracked jack points. The court case is expected to reach a verdict later this year, but the attorney managing the case states he has evidence to believe the problem is much more widespread among Teslas than you would like to think. China's answer to Google, Baidu, has just unveiled its first all-electric autonomous vehicle from its subsidiary company Jidu. The car, teased for several months, touts full autonomy without a driver and, according to said company, can show emotion as it interacts with its occupants. That might be going a little far. Just maybe. And those are your short shorts. There will be more next week. Around the world, millions and millions of tons of goods are transported by ship. And to help those ships get into and out of port, there are thousands of tugboats whose job it is to help those ships dock safely. Tugs have traditionally been powered by smelly engines, but in the port of Auckland in New Zealand, there's a new tug in town, Sparky, the world's first full-sized ship-handling e-tug. Powered by a 2,780 kilowatt-hours of batteries, Sparky, whose name was chosen by local residents, has a 70-ton bollard pull and is estimated to save 465 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually. While Sparky is expected to only operate in electric mode, it also has 2 backup generator sets that the port estimates will be used once or twice a year to help return to port in an emergency. So here's hoping that we see more Sparkies helping ships into harbour. And finally, it is pretty obvious by now that there's no love lost between Elon Musk and Ford executives, and both Elon and various Ford executives over the years have made jabs at each other for some time when it comes to EVs and EV sales. Often those jabs have been focused on sales volume or sticker prices, but this week, as more Ford F-150 Lightning pickup trucks were delivered to customers, we learned about a subtle but frankly very well-played addition to the charging equipment every F-150 Lightning now ships with. In addition to the mobile charging connection, connector Ford includes as a standard no-charge item, we've known for some time that Ford's charging kit also includes a special adapter to let F-150 Lightning owners use the Pro Power onboard outlet that their trucks have to charge a stranded EV. What we didn't know would be included, though, is a J1772 to Tesla inlet adapter. Many Tesla fans are upset, stating that Ford is just trolling Tesla by including a Tesla-specific adapter on a non-Tesla. But Ford, it says it's just being helpful. Honestly, though, if it gets F-150 Lightning owners helping other EV owners out, I'm all for it. What do you think? And on that note, we are done for the day. Before I go, a huge thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. They have been advocating for electric vehicles since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make the switch to electric, it can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. And if you become a member, you'll gain access to a new clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. You can find out more by heading to electricauto.org. And of course, thanks again to EnergySage for sponsoring today's show. Follow the link in the description to start your journey to clean, green energy generated right on your roof or in your community today. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell for this channel and our second channel, Transport Evolved Take 2. And if you're not already a channel member or Patreon supporter, please consider becoming one. Or you can send us a tip through Ko-fi, or you can check out our cool swag store. And if you did like what you saw today, why not consider leaving a super thanks below? It is super easy to do, and it all goes to help the channel grow. I will be back next week with this roundup show, but there will be some other awesome content for you to enjoy throughout the week, including more FUD busting from the wonderful Kate Walton-Elliott. So until then, enjoy your weekend, and as always, keep evolving.